Hi everyone, it's Nancy from Tea and Treasures. This is my Flosstube about cross stitch, and it is Monday, July 13th. Can't believe it's gone so quick already. But I have several things to share with you today. I've got 2 FFOs, I've got a finish, 3 SAFs, and then I'll show you what I stitched on yesterday, and then my summer basket of whips. So let's get started. The first FFO, or fully finished object, that I want to show you is called Sheep on the Meadow by Cedar Hill. Now this is an OOP print, an out of print, so it is no longer available. I already had Kathy from CC & Company had somebody that saw this on the wall out there, and they asked for if they could get the pattern because Kathy didn't know the name either. So I shared my pattern with them, so it's been passed on. But if you can find it, which would be a real trick, it is, like I said, Sheep on the Meadow by Cedar Hill. But I wanted you to see these sheep. I did these differently. I did not do what the pattern called for. And if you can see, I kind of, it called for 2 or 3 different colors in here. And I took an over dye, pardon me, and just did designs with the over dye. So, see there, you can see I tried to kind of make his leg, his hip joint, same thing here. These two, they were standing up, so I just kind of did them around and around and around. And then the last little guy there, I did him with the dark color on his hip too. But I think it turned out adorable. I love it. Look at all of those little French knots. I don't think I did those. I think I was at a stitch group overnight, and somebody volunteered to stitch those for me because I pull the darn things right on through. I can't ever seem to get it to land right and look right. But every one of those are really, really even. So I'm just really pleased with this one and just love that it's up on my wall now. The next one I have was given to me by my sister. She stitched it for me as a remembrance for our mom and dad. And I've had it since 2017. A lot of my stuff comes from back then. And just got it framed because, again, Kathy had that great framing sale. So this one is called I Come to the Garden Alone by Trinity Designs, and it was stitched by Laura Landis. So I'm going to try to get you there you go, there's the full thing. Now, Laura changed colors out on these because I believe when I saw the photo, it was in more oranges and browns. And she's changed this, so of course it would go with my favorite color, that blue. So this is JMP, it's my dad, and MAP, it's my mom. Joseph Marvin Poland, Mary Ann Poland. This one will be really cherished. Sorry about that. Goodness, let me catch up now. Whew. That caught me by surprise. The finish I had is the long-awaited Long May It Wave. I showed this one back in June when I started on it, and I have finished it. Yay! Look how pretty that is. Can you see the gold? This is gold braid, so it sparkles. I don't know if it's catching it or not, but I really loved it. And it's over here on a tassel. I think it turned out beautiful. just beautiful. And I'll be taking it out to Kathy's because she has a different sale, a different discount sale. Anything, if you're in the Kansas City area, this is Cece and Company, who was out in Blue Springs. And she's got 3 patriotic frames. They have stars on them in some form, but she will have all of your patriotic pieces framed at 30% off, which now through the end of the year, which I think is a fantastic sale. But it is only 3 different kinds, but with the stars on them, I'm sure you could find something that would go with your piece. And I just can't wait to take this out there and show it to her and see what we can figure out. So again, that was Long May It Wave by Dutch Treat Designs. The next one I have is Let Joy Be Unconfined. And last time I showed the pattern to you, I wasn't sure if it was a freebie or not, because I have just the printout of the pattern. And I went and looked it up again just to make sure, and it is a freebie on the Blue Flower site. And I just thought it was beautiful. I love how it turned out. This is the first of my SAFs, SAF, and that is a start and finish. So I started this and finished these next 3 during this time while in between videos. So I think this one is just beautiful. Jamie has already claimed it. She's tried to claim it anyway. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it to her or not, but I love how it turned out. I just used floss that was in my stash. I had some of what it called for, but not all. And I switched it all over. Well, I know what I did. I switched it all over from whatever it was, because it didn't tell me what it was, to DMC so that I could stitch it all. But I love how it turned out. It's just so fun and playful and joyful. So there's my first SAF. Then the next one I finished, I really did sit down and stitch this and finish it in one day, one sitting. And it's kind of a surprise for Eric. It is Humbug. It's called The Bugs by Bent Creek. And it's Humbug. I don't know if you can see it there. So here is my version. It's going to be like a Christmas ornament is how I'm going to finish it, because he is never very happy when it comes to Christmas. It's always bah humbug. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna make for him. I thought that was cute. Then my third start and finish is one that I showed you the pattern earlier in June, that I had just received it. It is the Blooming Swan. So there is the design. And again, I had to substitute in some colors. So you can see here, I made substitutions on 3. But here is my design. I love how it turned out. I think it is just gorgeous. And let me tell you, that swan was no joke. It took quite a while to get that all in. But once I did that, the water below, the flowers on the side, the arch on the top, those things just flew. But trying to get that in, that swan in, that took me several days. It's a lot of counting, and I'm sure there are mistakes, but I'm okay with that. I like how it turned out. You will notice, though, that on the pattern, I'll show you one thing, they left holes around some of these pieces. I didn't do that specifically, except up here at the top, because when I left them, I couldn't see them. It didn't make a difference to me, so I thought moving it over and using the white on there was what I wanted to do. I thought it looked better that way. So again, Blooming Swan by Pigeon Coop. Blooming Swan by Pigeon Coop. So I finished that just yesterday morning, and I really didn't want to start something else, so I decided I would pull out my piece here, Sweet Dreams Santa by the Vermillion. Wow. Group? Yeah, I think that's what it says. Vermillion Stitchery, Sweet Dreams Santa. And I got quite a bit in. I'm really pleased with my progress on it. Let me get it on the board here so we can hold it straighter and you can see it easier. Okay, so I got all the little border brackets all the way around. Remember, I told you this was 2 rows too high, so I pulled that out, moved that up, and then I started in some stitching up here in his hair, because I did all of this to avoid doing the white hair. But I think it's time now I bite the bullet and start working on the white hair. So that's what I've done. Now I'm gonna take the needle out, and I'll just put it down at the bottom here. I don't want it to rust up or anything. And while I've been working recently, I have had 4 needles break, and it's at the loop, at the eye of the needle. So I don't know if I'm pulling it too tight or if it's just that the needles have gotten to a point where they're just old, and they're wearing out, which is probably more like it. I've got several over there, so I might as well start switching them out. So that's what I've tried to do. As soon as they break, I just stop and I get rid of it and start with another one. Gosh, we're whipping through this. That's a lot quicker than I thought it would be. The next part, I've got, I think, 4 to show you, but not a lot of work on these, so these came from my summer basket. And that was one thing. I told you I separate my whips down for season. I want to know what you did with your whips. How do you sort them? How do you know where to go to find them? Do you just put them all together? Do you sort them by designer, by title? How do you do it? How do you take care of it? I'm always looking for better organizations, so if you'd share, I'd appreciate it. So let's get started again. The first one in my summer one is Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. A lot of people have done this one. Pardon me. So I have started it, have not done very much, but I got one corner and across the bottom. I don't believe it's all the way across. I believe it's just part way across. But, and I haven't even filled it in. See, I've started filling in with the black. goodness. So, there's that one. The next one I have, I love this one, but it's Hawthorne Hill Sampler by Rosewood Manor. I love it. I love that little bird up there, but this is so dark, and I really don't like that. It's so dark. So I moved it over onto this fabric, and I know this is by Picture This Plus, but I can't think of what the color is. And there is the alphabet that I started, and the little bird. I had to switch down and get him. So I've started that, got that far, and of course I switched out colors because I switched out fabric, and had to adjust the colors just to be safe and make sure you can see everything. One thing I like about Rosewood and their designs is that they give you not only the main design, but look at all these options she's given you on the back too. Isn't that lovely? I love those. And I'm sure I will do some of those at some point. But that's my second one. And then I have Dear Friends by Plum Street Sampler. I know you've all seen this one too. I think he's a cutie. And I've done about half, I think, on this. So I've got one whole durian, that tree on the side, acorns, pumpkins. So you can see I've got all of this. So I've just got to do the deer, the pumpkin, and the crow here, and this one, this tree, and that'll be done. That's pretty darn close. I may have to start working on this one. That's more of a fall instead of summer, but we stitch a season ahead generally, so this would be the right time of the year to be stitching on that. So I like that. Oh, when I was putting it on, I of course changed the fabric, and this one is on Chalice it's 28 count by Picture This Plus. I've got a really nice piece. I put it down at the bottom, so I'll have plenty left over for something else. Isn't that pretty? I just really like that. Now my nose is runny after the coughing fit. The last one I have is It's Berry Time by Blackbird Designs, and it's this design here with the baskets. I have loved this design since I saw it, and there are a lot of blackbirds I love. Some of them, not so much, and others I just can't do without. So this is one I just can't do without. And I was trying to get my floss that I have up here out of the way. I've got the alphabet all the way across. I've got down both sides, and I started on the basket. So, and look, I was so sure I was going to finish it in 2024. I put the year in. So, I may have to find a spot to be able to put 2026, if I get it done this year, on the other side or something. That's funny that I did that. There's a place for initials, so maybe I can slide it in. I'll figure it out. But I love the fabric. This is Weeks Dye Works linen fabric, linen count. Oh, this is a 32, and this is called Charlotte's Pink. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a pretty color? And I've got a big piece of it also left, so that'll be plenty to do something else. Reminds me of some of the fabric they were using, like on Red Pear, the Red Pear fabric that they use. So That, my friends, is it. 20 minutes. Can't believe how quick it is. I have, what have I been doing? I sorted my flosses all together. I had a big pile here on my desk. I cleaned that all up. My cat right now is laying over on all my bags. So he's got a nice cushy spot to sleep on. Boys were asleep in the living room in my chair since I'm not there. But anyway, I hope you had a fabulous 4th. I hope you got some stitching time in, got to spend some time with your families, and everything was enjoyable for you. I hope to be back in another couple weeks. I'm going to try to keep these every 2 weeks. This one went a little long because I kept wanting to get a finish. I kept working on that Swan, and I'd get more and more done. It's all right, I'm just going to put this next in. Okay, I'm just going to put this next in. And suddenly it was a week later. So apologies for not being back sooner. Plans. Well, I don't think I'm going to stitch on. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on. But I've got, as you can see, plenty that I can work on. I've got a lot of new stuff. I've got some things that I have pulled fabric for, but no flosses, because I don't want to put my flosses in and then have to rebuy over and over, which I found when I consolidated all my floss, several bundles of the same color. I think I have 10 blacks now that I've found of DMC black, 310. So anyway, that is going to do it for today. I thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the little bell to get all the notifications, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. So glad to be able to share with you, and I look forward to the next time. Brightest blessings. Look at that. I look like I've got Spock's live long and prosper. Bye-bye.